While this course is online course and you have access to my video lectures, but what we thought that can we make it more interactive, and can we try to give you a better feel of what kind of technology we use, and a direct kind of some live ways of transmission and much more interaction with you. So in this way, we thought to have at least 2 times interaction with you every week, displaying you different technologies which we are using in my lab at IIT Bombay, Proteomics lab. For example, someday we will show you how mass spectrometer work. Someday we'll show you how microarray technology work. And as we go along, and you are also more familiar with what these technologies are, then we'll also give you tips about how to prepare good sample, how to quantify them well, in which way you can have the quality control checks. So we have many of these important aspects which we think we cannot cover directly in the course, and these things will be not part of the examination. We are not teaching you just something for doing assignment, but rather for your actual understanding about it. So if you feel there is a value for you to attend these sessions, we'll be very happy to have these kind of live sessions every week. Additionally, for the course purpose, we will have on every Saturday one live session about question answer. So if you have certain queries, something is not clear from the lecture, then you can also ask and pose those queries to us. So today, I think what we thought to take you to one part of the lab which is focused on the mass spectrometry based proteomics, and give you some sort of live demo about how to use these kind of latest technologies. And while as you go along in the course, you will learn that what kind of important role mass spectrometry has placed in proteomics. But I must say that mass spectrometers have revolutionized whole of the proteomics field. The way we were thinking about doing proteomics has totally changed with the innovations and latest technology advancement in the field of proteomics. So today we are standing in front of some of the very latest instruments available at IIT Bombay in my lab, which one of them is Orbitrap Fusion. So let me take you closer to that instrument and have you a little bit more detail about it. By the way, before I go more longer, let me introduce you to the course TA here with me. Here's Mr. Vipin Kumar. He's a PhD student and also one of the TA for this course. Along with him, I have some other senior PhD students and who are working on these technologies. One, Mr. Sandeep Patel is standing, and Mr. Sachin standing here. So they're also pretty expert in handling these technologies, and they will have little longer interaction with you, and kind of they will give you more feel about doing these instruments and technologies. So what I'm doing, I'm taking you to one part of the instrument, which is the liquid chromatography part. As you know that you want to separate peptides, and for preparation you need some sort of chromatography. So here we are using some C18 columns, and we want to separate these peptides using different type of hydrophobic and hydrophilic gradients. Now, this is the main place where you need to first insert your sample. So let's say you have prepared a complex protein mixture and you want to identify which all proteins present in your given sample, or you want to quantify them, that how a protein sample from the control condition versus your test conditions, how they differ, right? So you want to analyze these kind of complex protein mixture. And in this course, we are talking about everything proteomics. It means all the proteins. So thousands of proteins we're talking, right? So now let's say we take those samples, and could we get a sample here? So right. So let's say we keep these samples in these vials, specialized vials, and now we are inserting them here in this particular tray, right? And you can see here in different positions we have 96 sample in fact which we can load. So based on this now, then we can come to the liquid chromatography, and we can make a setting that what we want in each of these cell, and what we want for the solvent A, solvent B. So some of these things are being shown here. And additionally, we have these columns, right? These columns which are analytical column, which are pretty long, 50 centimeter long column, on which you can separate peptides pretty long. So after this part of the LC part, then I'm showing you the front end, the interface of the electrospray ionization. So this is part which you can see here, where these kind of columns are integrated, columns. And now on the screen here you can see the assembly, that how your these columns are getting aligned with the electrospray ionization part. And now these particular, all the ions which you are forming from the peptide, they have to move inside the instrument, which is the mass analyzer. So what we are explaining you is one of the latest technology in the field, which is Orbitrap Fusion, which is having, if you see the label here for the Orbitrap Fusion, this is one of the latest technology which offers you highest resolution for protein analysis and for proteomic separations. So it actually is, one of the very unique platform. Although we have not talked in the course to you about what are all possibility we have for the different mass analyzers, but just to give you an idea that we are talking about protein mixture and we can detect them well. So we need different properties analyzer. So most of the time when we say MSMS analysis, type of mass analyzer, flight, or you can have hybrid configuration. Then this particular instrument we have tribrid configuration. We have quadrupoles, we have orbitrap, we have you the all kind of features and properties the way you can separate peptides and proteins. So this kind of just give you the first hand perspective of what the latest technologies are there. While my will only teach you the technology, but they're acquainted with what is actually and how we are able to make for the actual research work, right? So will actually take you longer to really understand the software features, what changes we make for the spectroscopy gradient, what changes we make to make the settings for the mass spectrometers, then how to process these data, how to analyze the data using these particular software, especially in our case, we are using Proteome Discoverer, or sometimes we have Mascot software. So many of these software, how we can use to analyze the data. So all of these things are something which is just for your knowledge and personal understanding. I must say that we are not going to ask you questions or quiz you for your exam based on these interactions. Only to make you comfortable that how best you can make use of these technology for your own research. How best you can be more comfortable about knowing that how proteomics can be done using these type of instruments. So we have another instrument here, which we can see from the image here, which is Q executive instrument, which is another type of Orbitrap technology. It is a hybrid technology, not the tribrid the way you have seen other one. It also offers you good resolution, almost 1,25,000, as high as what you will get in the Orbitrap fusion technology, which we just talked. But there must be, you need to appreciate that there are different type of mass spectrometers, and those configurations could actually be used for different applications. So somewhere you can use for different applications. And by knowing these instruments in more detail, by going through these sessions, you should be able to appreciate that, what you can get best out of each instrument and technology. For example, if you want to do metabolomics, probably still you can be very good with the Q technology. If your aim is more to only add proteins, use multi that the talk of very well. You can do it in a very good manner, right? So these way to be the type of configuration can be used to write watching this particular video. But as I mentioned, irrespective of you are from introduction or whether you are from interactomics course, our intention is that you should relevant be about all in module of the course, but we will show you different technologies, whether it's microarrays, surface plasmon resonance, or mass spectrometers, or 2D dice technology, because each one of them are going to give you some very practical perspective of how best you can make use of these technologies in your research. So I think let's make this as a good start, probably, which is a next set of probably MOOC courses when we are not only showing you recorded videos, but we are actually interacting with you live. Of course, we cannot have live interaction for all the details, but still for many of your queries and many of the practical aspects, we can have the live interactions. I'd also like to draw your attention that at IIT Bombay in February last week, we are going to offer workshop and courses uh, where we are going to have a lot of people from outside coming in as well. And those students who will perform well in our online courses, especially in assignment 1 and 2, we are going to offer them to the toppers the free registration well start taking the course for these seriously. Come here and meet us and interact with us much more seriously, importantly, because we really want you to learn these sectors of them. You can come and research the things that I Bombay. Person in these words. Let me kind of hand over this and also show you the different software will explain features which can be used. Things are not very clear to you. We are just for you to get more knowing that what portal is being done using latest technology. You can definitely post these queries to us on the portal or separately by email. We'll try to help you to answer those queries. But nevertheless, these are the latest instruments and latest technology in the world. So whatever best you can grasp from it, that will be definitely helpful for you to make an educated decision that which technology can be used for which applications. So all the very best for attending this MOOC course, and we are very much committed to make the course more interactive and live, and kind of really make a good experience, learning experience for all of you for this course. I'll be keep interacting with you each week. So thank you so much. I'll stop here. A lot of messages that the probably voice was not very clear. I do not know whether that issue is resolved by now or not. But at least some part I can again repeat myself, just so that if it was not clear earlier, but if it's better voice now, you can hear something. So what we were trying to show you on the screen here is some chromatograms, and these chromatograms actually represents that how peptides are eluted out from the chromatography and what how they're separated. So in this case, we are using 2 hours long gradient, and we want to separate peptides based on their hydrophobicity, and then slowly they're getting resolved, as you can see in the 2 hours time frame. So these black shade what you see are actually peptides which are eluted out. And now the bottom part of it, when we click on any of these spectrum, then we are getting their MSMS profile. So ideally, in doing the proteomics, why we want to understand about all the proteins, but actually it becomes that you are first taking the protein, digesting the proteins to make it peptide forms, then you are trying to elute all the peptides, you are trying to analyze all the peptides in mass spec, and then you want to put it back, then you want to get their spectrum, use that information to generate the sequence, and then you want to put that back to find out what those proteins are. So actually, still we do not have very robust technology like PCR, where we can simply amplify the gene of interest. And in the proteomics field, we really struggle to study protein. So to take the intact protein, digest them. Now digested peptides you are trying to read using mass spec, and then those peptide information, the sequence, now you can use for database search to again find out what those proteins are. But in this case, our magnitude is very different. We are talking about thousands of protein, and that's where we are separating all of these peptides in the complex gradient what you have seen. Just imagine that, if you are working on, let's say, yeast or E. coli or some of these small organisms, you have 4 or 5 thousand protein. Now, for their separation, now with these technologies, we do not need any fractionation. So we need not to fractionate our complex proteome mixture. We can simply digest peptides and run with the longer column of 50 centimeter long. And in single shot of 3 or 4 hours run, we can separate all the peptides from those samples. Now, those data can be used to search all the proteins for that given sample. Similarly, for the human sample which we work on, we are taking many tissue sample, complex samples, and then in a single short run, we can obtain almost 300 or 3,000 or 4,000 protein, in fact, in a single short run separation. So these are the kind of representative what you have seen, which shows you, different type of pattern of the peptide elution. I'm actually, highlighting you another run here for a different sample. And now you can see the sample looks very different here because, all the peptides in this case are eluting much more after 80 minutes of the gradient. And if I, look at another sample, probably you can see the patterns are very different. So looking at the sample complexity, of course, peptides are going to resolve differently, right? And but a given type of sample, for example, if you're working always on the plasma sample or tissue sample, once you establish the gradient, then I think you can always achieve the same kind of separation. So again, we have used here solvent A and solvent B, where we are adding formic acid and acetonitrile, and these gradients, from the level of 0 to 80%, can be used for separating these peptides. So, and but many times you can make these small changes. These are not something which is always fixed. You can always make small changes, and based on those, what you change the gradient, you will have different pattern of when your peptides are getting eluted out. So again, if I show you these things here, if you change the gradient of acetonitrile and formic acid, probably you may not see the elution happening at the very 10 minutes or 12 minutes long. If you and many times you want to change the gradient so that the peptides are separated at much earlier stage. So these are small tips. I think we cannot cover the whole of the proteomics in the single lecture, in the single live session, uh, but it gives you the feel and the practical aspect of it. We are talking directly from the lab. You see that in which place we work, what kind of technology we use, how these instruments actually look like. And as I mentioned, that as we go along, we want to give you some insight about how to prepare the sample, because that becomes very crucial. When you have extracted the protein, what goes on from making a protein to the real clean peptides, how to quantify those well. Many of these are small tips which will be covered in many of these kind of live sessions, which myself and many of my colleagues from the lab will be talking to you about these details. Uh, I would say that the for the time being, this kind of gives you a perspective about that mass spectrometry is a strong platform for doing proteomics. Of course, it's not everything. As we go along, you will appreciate that there are different type of technologies which can be used for doing proteomics work. But we just thought to start with this particular platform, which is very powerful for protein separation. And very soon you will realize that what are going on here is actually you cannot see them well. These are all black boxes. Even we cannot see anything here. What goes on inside? So then it comes to your basic understanding. What is inside the mass spec? What are different type of mass analyzers? I mentioned to you we are using tribal technology. So for example, we have quadruples, we have ion traps and orbitraps. How they work? What are their principles, right? So then these things becomes very crucial for us to understand, because actually, it looks very interesting that I want to work on a given instrument, but instruments are really black box. You don't know anything what is going on inside. So then that's where the fundamental comes into the play, that why you want to resolve these ions and how best you can interpret those ions into the peptide spectrum. So there's definitely a lot of excitement we have to teach you, and I'm sure as we go along, you will have very interesting questions for us. Uh, we will definitely try to overcome some of the practical challenges of the technology what we are facing right now for audio issues or the live streaming issues. But hopefully this probably opened up a new ways for us to communicate and interact. Many of us have not even talked and interacted in the past, but this can be one of the good way for us to communicate. So I'll be very happy to have more live interactions in the coming days. As I mentioned, then we'll also upload certain raw data file for these experiments and let you analyze using open access software, which we will teach you how to use that. And then probably we'll have much more interaction. You will have much more familiarity that what goes on here. But truly speaking, despite the technologies are very complex, and you will appreciate that what you can do from it, but you don't do much on the instrument itself. You just simply insert the sample which I showed you, and after inserting the sample, everything can be done just using these softwares, and we can share those information to you. So this entire field of proteomics right now, one major aspect is depending upon how to quantify the protein. So quantitation part of it. Many times you want to compare multiple conditions. For example, you have a control sample and you have three type of treatment samples. You want to compare them. So then quantitative proteomics comes into the play. Same instruments can be used for quantitative proteomics, but you want to use some sort of labels now, which can be used to distinguish different type of conditions. For example, we can use eye-track technology or TMT technology, which are different type of tags or labels which you can put on different samples. And now you can mix them together, and you want to now separate using mass spec. So then it becomes crucial that what should be energy used to fragment those reporter ions or those kind of TMT tags. And again, that instrument remains the same, but small changes in the principle will teach you how to do quantitative proteomics. So then in that way, we can move from the discovery aspect of proteomics to the quantitative proteomics aspect. And as we go along, they will also talk to you about targeted proteomics, how to target a single peptide and how to validate that. So I think many of these things are very exciting new developments in the field, and we are really kind of excited to teach you and bring you not only the basic knowledge from the course, but also to really show you how we can do these experiments live. So let's make it more interactive. I'll kind of stop for today's session now with this particular brief overview, but we will have many interesting modules like this to offer you as we go along in the course. And as I mentioned, please do perform well in assignment 1 and assignment 2. We are really looking for some of the toppers of the course to come directly to IIT Bombay and participate in the international symposium and workshop which we are going to conduct in the last week of February. And we'll be very happy to have you here to participate and interact with us live. Thank you very much for attending today's session. Your feedback and comments will be appreciated. We'll also see how to improve the technological glitches what we had faced today. So with that, let me stop you here and have a very good evening. And you can now continue with more video lectures, which is already you have for this week. Okay. All the best for assignments, and let's be in touch. Thank you.